Well, hi everyone. Welcome to the New England Racing Show. Manchester, New Hampshire, Channel 23, also on YouTube, and like us on Facebook. You'll get the show on your Facebook page. Well, we're going to continue with the interviews from the Racers Expo on Saturday, February 7th. We have Otto Sitterly, our first one, Oswego, 7-time champion with the big block supers. Corky from Parts Peddler. Dave Thomas Jr. talking about the DT100. And Steve Sweeney, the operations manager at F1 Boston, where they had the kart clash right after the Racers Expo. Okay, so let's get with it now with Otto Sitterly.
The Racers Expo in Marlborough, Massachusetts, 2015, and we're with the fastest guy in the place. I think that would be safe to say, because the man is a 7-time champion in the Supermodifieds at Oswego, has won the last 3 championships in a row, and that's the second time he's won 3 championships in a row at Oswego. Just an amazing feat. It's Otto Sitterly from Canajoharie, New York, the home of the great Dave Lape.
That's right. Neighbors with Dave Lape, 3 miles up the road.
Amazing. Okay. So, I said the fastest guy in the place, and I bet that would stand, because you guys are setting some blistering speeds at Oswego. I mean, I heard getting down into the low 14s this last season.
Yeah, it'd be in the 15s, but yeah, that's nearly as fast as the wing cars were a few years ago. So the evolution of Supermodifieds has changed over the last 10 years. The cars non-wing have become really fast.
Now, you said your father was a racer. That's how you got started in all this?
Yeah, I grew up going to Fonda Speedway. My dad raced there for probably 35 years or better. And I know all the names. Dave Lape and Jack Johnson, Lou Lazzaro, those guys were all, of course, my heroes, along with my dad, too, when I was growing up.
So how'd the super thing come about?
It was just one of those things. I always saw the Supermodifieds from a distance, and then I went to a dirt race in Fulton Speedway. It was part of the outlaw circuit back then. I went with my dad, and it rained out, and I had always heard about the Supermodifieds in Oswego, and I just decided to go. After that rain out that night, a friend of mine and myself went up, and they had the small block Supermodifieds, which they still do, and that is actually, without those cars, I would have never been able to go there as a driver. It was sort of a good stepping stone for me.
And when did you start in the full supers?
2000 was my first year in a Supermodified. I was Rookie of the Year in 2000.
And you started winning right then?
The next year, 2001, I won a twin. They used to run twin 35s, and I had a good starting position in one, and I led the whole race, and we've pretty much been winning since then.
So what makes you so fast? I mean, I'm sure it's a combination of car and driver, but you guys seem to know the deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why, for some reason. I mean, I did run dirt before I ever went to Oswego. I ran dirt some, but it seems like from the very first time I went to the track, I seemed to take to it pretty good. And then just, I don't know, I guess determination probably does a lot. And then, of course, my last 8 or 9 years or so in the Cotra, I mean, we have really good equipment, and it seems like it's one of those deals. We've really gelled. We got a good team, really good cars. And I don't know, right now we're just sort of thriving. So, I mean, I think the success, each thing you do probably just drives you to do that much more.
What about plans for 2015?
We've got one new car being built. It's probably actually not going to be my car. It would be available for me if I need it. But we've sort of partnered up last year with a guy out of Ohio, DJ Schulich. He runs the Wing Series. And we sort of have done a little swap with him. He'll run 3 or 4 races for us during the season, and I run his backup car on the ISMA Tour during the season. We'll hit every show at Oswego. We did Thompson in the fall, and we ran good out there. That's like one of my favorite tracks is Thompson Speedway. So, I mean, back to your question, pretty much the same kind of stuff, a new car for DJ to get him up to speed with all of the other 2 cars that Davey Hamilton and myself have.
You get involved in the building of the cars?
Yeah, actually the car that I ran the past year, and then Davey has a new one, and Schulich's car, I was actually a co-designer of that car with Joe Hawksby out of Oswego, New York.
So, desires to move on from this? Is this the pathway to follow a career like Bentley Warren or something like that, or are you happy just running and winning at Oswego?
No, pretty much for racing. It'll be Oswego for me. If we perhaps someday shift over to ISMA, I'm not sure, how things are going to go there, but we definitely want to do some ISMA races. And then, of course, this year, if we could, either whether it be this year or in the next years, if we could do another championship or so, we're looking at trying to break that record up there right now. We're tied for the most with 7 with Bentley and Jim Champagne.
Amazing. And Oswego is a special place. If you've never been to Oswego Speedway, it's certainly worth the drive from wherever you are. What an amazing racetrack, what a fast racetrack, and the speeds are just unbelievable. But it's just a great facility all around.
Yeah, it's definitely close to my heart. I mean, I've been there since 95 was the first year I ran there. And, of course, I'm not from there. I'm a couple hours away. So it sort of works out perfectly. I'm not in the hometown, but yet I run there weekly. So everybody, definitely everybody knows who we are.
Oh, they know your name.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's Otto Sitterly, who is, we mentioned, the 7-time champion at Oswego. He's won the last 3 in a row. That's the second time they've done 3 in a row, and he's gunning for 4 in a row in 2015. And best of luck with that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks a lot.
Back at Racers Expo 2015 in Marlborough, Massachusetts, and we're talking parts, race parts, a name that I'm sure you're familiar with if you've been around racing for any amount of time, because these guys have been around for close to 40 years. The National Parts Peddler, and Corky's with us to talk a little bit about it. Certainly know the name from trade shows, but also at racetracks, and I know that it's a publication that racers have come to depend on.
Yeah, we've had the Parts Peddler paper going on 40 years, and we also have our Parts Peddler trade shows like this in Syracuse every November for going on our 36th year. So, and we're actively involved racing, my son and I, and we go all over the country running cars. So we're still doing it.
And so most of the manufacturers or the companies that represent the parts that racers need are right in your publication.
Yes, the Parts Peddler, you can find almost anybody that builds racing parts, sells race cars in the publication.
And right from the ground up. I mean, if you're starting from square one, you might want to start checking out to find what direction you're going to go in by looking up the various vendors in the Parts Peddler.
Yeah. In the whole industry, we're known, and people, whether they're young at a street stock or whether they're up and have a top fuel dragster, they've bought and sold and used the Parts Peddler for a long time. It's the print publications are still pretty neat, and you can see our paper online under partspeddler.us for free. It's on our website, and it still goes good. There's a big demand for it.
And it's nice because when you go to one of these shows like this trade show here in Marlborough, or yours, or any of the others all over the country, you can pick up a copy of this.
Yeah, it's for free, and it's important. These people come to these shows. It's like us supporting the show. We go all over to trade shows all over the country. Very important for people to meet people still, not just look at something on the internet or whatever. Get involved, interact with people. This is a real neat little show, and all this is important to get new people into the sport and to keep the people that have been around a long time, like Otto was just here, keep them involved. You can interact with people, learn a lot. Racing is still thriving, and I hope these shows do well for a long time.
Well, as racing has changed over the last almost 40 years that you guys have been around, I'm sure the parts business has too.
Well, everything's changed, in the world, and racing is the same thing. It's changed, and all the parts and things, a lot of them are made overseas today, and even race cars are made, Triple X race cars are made in China, and it's amazing how it's changed.
But no matter what you might be looking for, how specific of a part it might be. If you take a look at the National Parts Peddler, you probably got it in there.
Well, I try to, and we go different places like this, just looking to meet new people, new companies. It's very important to stay in touch with what's out there. You know,
For sure, yeah, because the technology's always changing.
yeah, you can in this show here. You can walk around. You'll learn a lot. You'll see new things every day.
For sure. It's National Parts Peddler, which this is a copy of it, which is available at the show today. And Corky, if somebody wants to get their hands on this and they're not going to a trade show, how do they do that?
Well, we have a lot of speed shops around the country and different locations, some newsstands. Excuse me, I'm lost my voice here. I'm talking myself out. Or you can give us a call or go online and send us a note, email us, and we'll mail you a copy.
Yeah, it's partspeddler.us is where you can find them online.
Right. We sell subscriptions to it for $30 for 12 issues. So it's nice to get it in the mail still. We have people all over the country that get the paper. And, over the 40 years we've been around, it's been really interesting to see the whole change and the change of people and all the new things that go on. And it's been fun doing it, and I hope we can do it another 40. It'll be my son running it, Chris Stockham. And our racing is under Chris Stockham. You can go online and look up, see what we do on a weekly basis. We not only do what I've explained to you business-wise, but we're right into, racing, dirt track racing and asphalt. We do a lot of things in racing all over. So we just got back from the Chili Bowl, and we're at it just like when I was 20 years old. We're still going at it. And it's good to come to a show like this and see how healthy racing is. There's a lot of people here, lots of vendors, and people should try to get out to a racetrack near them as soon as they can. Keep going. Keep this sport really going. And thanks for having us on here.
All right, Corky, thank you.
It was a pleasure.
National Parts Peddler is the magazine, the trade publication. Check it out. As we said, you can pick it up at a local speed shop, one of the trade shows, or look them up online, partspeddler.us, to find out more information. Thanks for being with us, Corky, very much. Thank you. We're at Racers Expo 2015 in Marlboro, talking to some of the exhibitors and the vendors, and talking about events that happen in our area. And right now we're going to talk about the largest indoor charity karting event in northern New England that happens and has really grown into quite an event to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Dave Thomas is going to speak about that, and we're talking about the DT 100, which is coming up really soon.
It is. It's coming up on Saturday, February 28th at Maine Indoor Karting in Scarborough.
And how many karts or how many drivers will participate in that?
Probably have a little over 100, probably end up with about 110, something like that. Yep.
And it's become quite the event because it's all local names. It's drivers from tracks all over New England.
Yeah, New England and beyond. We've actually got a little over 100 drivers from representing 12 states. All the major short track touring series such as ISMA, PASS, NEMA, the Whalen Modified Tour, just all around.
Is this an invitational thing, or do these guys come forward and want to be part of it?
It's kind of a mixture of everything. We do have, I have some invitations that I do send out to drivers. We have some drivers that have heard about it that I don't know, it still kind of humbles me a little bit to know that some of these drivers have heard about it and they're interested in it. We also have a waiting list. You do have to show up to the day of the event to join our waiting list, and we try to get drivers in as soon as we can, but obviously we can only have so many drivers.
So how did this all come about?
I'm the son of a 35-year racing veteran. My dad raced modifieds, super modifieds, did some pro stock stuff like that. And, I was kind of a typical race kid, went around the track and stuff, but Dad did a great job of kicking me out of the garage. And, go to school, do this. So I did everything he told me to do. But I've been around it. I mean, it's exciting. It's racing. It's what we all love. So I always wondered what it would be like. So a lot of my friends growing up were race car, second generation, third generation kids. And we'd go to our local indoor go-kart track. and I'm racing against him, and I'm like, wow, I got a pretty good opportunity here to see like what I can do against these guys. And some of my other friends, they didn't have that opportunity, so I thought it'd be kind of neat to give everybody that opportunity to do that and do it for a great cause like Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, most definitely. And but the memory of your father has a lot of influence on this event.
Oh, it definitely does. My dad did the first one. Dad had been retired since 1996. He ran our first event in 2009, and he was getting a little older and stuff, and didn't move quite as quick and stuff, and so he got in the cart, and he didn't like the feel of racing. We started out in champ carts, so we kind of got him in there and stuff, and he's like, I go, you ready to go, Dad? And he's like, yeah, he's just like this, and I'm like, wow, he just looks really uncomfortable. I'll tell you right now, that green flag dropped. He went 3 wide right to the outside and just went. Unfortunately, some guys in front of him did the same thing too. There was a big pile up. Dad got right in the pile up, and he goes, I think I'm good, but I'm proud of you, So it was great, and he's since passed, and but his memory always lives on. We have an award for him every year, which means a lot to me, the Dave Thomas Award, and what we do is we always give that to the driver that we feel has really put their best foot forward to help promote the event, show support, just be a good face for our event. So.
And then, how did you choose the Make-A-Wish Foundation?
I actually had a friend out in northern New York. He did a racers charity auction where he'd get body panels, stuff like that, autographed. And I just thought it was really neat what he was doing. He did that for 10 years. He raised over $100,000 for it, and it was just fun to go out there and support him and do it. He had some other changes in his life, and he just, the event had started to pass a little bit, and he's like, okay, everything unfortunately comes to an end. But it was kind of nice because we supported him, and then we made the transition. And so, we like to think that it just kept going. It's not that his ended at 10 years. We're actually getting closer to our whole project working on 20 years.
And I understand today at this show, people can buy a chance to win a spot to be in the DT 100.
Yes, we've been doing some various raffles here and there and trying to come up with some different ideas to spread the word about what we're trying to do. And so basically for $2 a chance, anybody, as long as you're over the age of 16, you can join our raffle for $2. All the proceeds go to Make-A-Wish. And for $2, you can just show right up. You don't have to do any of the fundraising. You don't have to do any of the track rental fee that we have, anything. You just show up and just get a chance to race against the best.
And with this kind of event, it sounds like it would be your full-time job, but I know it's not. You're a graphics guy, right?
I am. My business partner, Steve Dickey, and I, we joined forces. We both, he's been doing signs for 10 years. I've been 17. And, we ended up we had, kind of a mutual customer base, and we just decided to try to build something a little bit bigger, and it's been really great. This is my first Expo. He's been down here for a few years now. Actually, I believe all 5. And it's just been really great to meet everybody and just really appreciate the opportunity that Bobby Seymour has given us to help promote our business and promote the DT 100.
You do race cars, obviously. Do the design and everything?
We go start to finish. Obviously he's also second generation. And so it's, obviously started with race cars, but it's branched out to so much more than that. We do vehicle lettering, wraps. We've got into embroidery. Even just this year, our trophy supplier unfortunately went out of business, and we have to figure out something to do with trophies. So we just figured out how to find the parts and put them together, and we started making our own trophies.
Great.
Yeah,
So give the business a little plug.
Oh, it's definitely Synergy Signworks, and you can visit us on Facebook at Synergy Signworks, and we're located in Londonderry, New Hampshire. And also want to say we do have a website now for the DT 100, and it's dt100race.com. We have a list of drivers on there, and what's been really great this year is you can make donations by PayPal or credit card. And that's really helped a lot. I was kind of behind the times a little bit. Everybody's sending in checks, and there's some people that just don't even have checkbooks anymore. So I just, Evan Bollier from Nitro Designs developed a website for us. And it's been great. You can just go right on there. You can select your favorite driver, or you can just select the DT 100 General Fund and make a donation.
Excellent.
But this year we're hoping to raise, I'm hoping to raise $25,000 again. Last year we did really well. We raised over $30,000, and that was our net fundraising. And net is important to me because that's after all the expenses are done. That's how much we're actually able to present to Make-A-Wish, and that's the number that's really most important. We try very hard to keep our operating costs down, but still be able to put together, hopefully for what everybody thinks is a first-class, event. But yeah, so right now we're at 125,000, and hopefully this event puts us to 150.
That's great. Well, best of luck with that, and keep it going. And it has turned out to be the largest indoor karting event in northern New England, and all the stars, anybody that you can imagine, from full-fendered race cars to open-wheel supermodifieds and midgets, participate in this race, and you've done a great job. Keep it up.
I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to spread the word.
Our pleasure. Don't forget the DT 100. Thank you, Dave, for
Thanks
stopping
very
by.
much.
The Racers Expo in Marlborough, Massachusetts, 2015. Talking to some of the vendors and the participants here this weekend. One of the big events that's part of Racers Expo is the Kart Clash at F1 Boston. Now Kart Clash 5 will happen when the show closes this evening. And this attracts a lot of the big names in racing to participate in this. It's kind of a fun event to wrap up the show. Steve Sweeney from F1 is with us. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having us in here.
The Kart Clash, of course, which is a part of this, is just one of the many, 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 many events that you have at F1. Right. You guys have been around for a while now.
Yeah, since 1999.
And really kind of the leader in this kind of thing. I know there's some other indoor kart tracks have opened up since then, but F1 seems to have it all.
Yeah, we have a very broad range of things you can do up there, from the billiard hall. We have a 5-star restaurant, the juniors leagues, open racing leagues, the pro leagues. You name it, we do it. We do a lot of corporate events, just about everything under one roof.
And as you mentioned, the leagues, which a lot of these racing guys participate in because it keeps them sharp, particularly in the off season. Are there certain nights that are league nights?
Yeah, generally Monday nights are league night. We alternate open league with a seasonal league. So one Monday is an open league, the next one will be the spring, winter, whatever season we're in, that type of league. And then on Friday nights we have the pro league going, or a different type of league that Matt Young, our director of leagues and schools, will set up.
And it's so much more than just the racer getting involved in this, because you have sort of arrive and drive packages as well. I mean, somebody out on a date night could come out and take a few laps.
Oh, definitely. A lot of first dates happen at F1. As a matter of fact, not so long ago we had a gentleman come in who wanted to propose to his soon-to-be bride. Their first date was at F1. So he wanted to propose to her on the track at the finish line. So we made that happen for him. It was pretty cool.
And there's a program that you do for corporate team building as well.
Yes, absolutely. We do what we call a pit stop tire change. We have Denny Hamlin's number 11 road course car from, I think it was a 2007, 2008 time frame. And we put together teams of 6 people per team, a minimum of 3 teams. As maximum, we've done as many as 10, 15 teams at once, and they go through a real NASCAR pit stop tire change, try to improve their times. They start with 2 tires and fuel, 4 tires and fuel, and penalties are assessed for certain mistakes, loose lug nuts, dropping the jack early and whatnot. It's a lot of fun, There's a corporate leaderboard that we have. If your company or your group is good enough and they make the top 10, they get on the board.
So they use that for team building or just recognition for employees. They come to have a good time.
Absolutely. That's probably one of the things that people enjoy the most. They're a little gun shy at first, and then when they're done, they just don't want to stop until they get on the board, on the top 10 board.
Well, it's infectious, that's for sure, not just for race people. I think it's a great idea to get people involved in racing to learn a little more about it, because they actually get into the atmosphere. When you go down there and get in one of those carts, you're putting on a professional racer suit, helmet, the whole 9 yards.
Once you strap the helmet on, it's game on. And everybody gets bitten by the bug when they race. Either you like it or you don't, and most people walk away with a big old smile on their face. That's one of the great things about racing. If you can't have fun racing, then, I don't know, go bowling.
Well, and these aren't amusement park go-karts either.
No, these carts will go close to 40 miles an hour at our indoor track. At our outdoor track in East Bridgewater, Massachusetts, they go closer to 55, 57 miles an hour. That's a 1.3 mile track. Several different track configurations that we have set up for that as well. It's when you're 1.5 inches off the ground going at those speeds indoors, it feels like you're going 75, 85 miles an hour. Outdoors, faster than that.
I've done it. The turns come up pretty quick, that's for sure. Of course, we're talking with Steve about F1 Boston because of the Kart Clash 5, which is the culmination of the Racers Expo. But you're open year-round.
Open year-round, well, 362 days a year. Generally, if you're going to come in on the weekends, always call ahead to make sure that we can get you in. Our outdoor track opens up around Memorial Day, runs right up till the end of October. Of course, it's weather dependent out there. We have it all.
So at F1, you can go out, race a little, then go into the restaurant and have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. The Scary Bar and Lounge is there. It's open all the time. Really good food. Good atmosphere. If you like to have fun with your group, whether you're going up for a bachelor party or a corporate function, we can have it there. And there's a lot of eye candy up there. You've been there before. You've seen the cars that we have. We have Jeff Gordon's car there. We have the F1 Viper, Denny Hamlin's car, the Rolex BMWs and stuff like that. There's a lot of nice things to look at.
It's an excellent take, a great destination. And it's F1 Boston, but you're actually south of Boston. I guess Braintree, technically?
Yeah, F1 Boston's located at exit 6 off of Route 95 in Braintree, right on Wood Road. Get off the off-ramp, take a couple of quick lefts, right up the top of the hill, and there we are.
Big, beautiful facility and very well maintained, as Steve said. A lot of eye candy for the race fan to look over some of those cars. Well, we're looking forward to Kart Clash, but we're also looking forward to getting down to F1 and turning some laps.
Oh, that's going to be fun tonight. We have it all set up. We're weighing the drivers in as they come through the booth today. We got the format all set up, and we're going to handle it tonight.
All right. Well, if you haven't been there, check it out. If you haven't been there in a while, get back there to F1 Boston. As Steve mentioned, just south of Boston and Braintree. It's a great time for everybody, whether you're a race fan or not. So thanks for stopping by, Steve.
Thanks for having me, and we'll see you in a couple hours.
You betcha.
Okay, well, if you haven't been to F1 Boston, it's really a beautiful place. They have a nice restaurant. Like you said, they have some cars on display and pool tables. It's nice. This weekend, Friday night the 20th and Saturday the 21st, in Portland at the Expo Center is Steve Perry's second race car show of the winter. Did the first one in Augusta, and this one is in Portland. So if you want info, contact or go on Facebook, Mainly Motorsports. Steve Perry puts on a nice show up there, and we'll be up there with our midget. Saturday, the 28th, is the DT 100, as you heard Dave Thomas Jr. talking about it, at the Maine Indoor Karting in Scarborough, Maine. Dave is also partners with Steve Dickey at Synergy Signworks, and they do lettering on race cars or any cars, if you have a business, signs, banners. They did a beautiful banner for us, a 4x8 banner. Stickers that love your logo, company's logo, whatever. And they also do T-shirts. They've done them for our series and Star Speedway. And just Dave was kind of low-key. His father was Dave Thomas Sr., the legendary Supermodified driver, raced at Star Speedway, and I got to see him for 20 years. From about 76 to 96 when he retired, and he was really a hell of a driver. Right up there with the rest of them, Howie Brown and Ollie Silver, Dick Batchelder, all the local heroes. So that was Dave Thomas Sr. But anyway, we'll be back next week with more interviews from Racers Expo. We have Skip Matzik, who was the best interview of all, took up the whole show, 28 minutes. So we'll see you next week.